Protege playing for you right here on 88.2 Sanyu FM with Who Knows. It is the hit selector with Fanta, and I am Crystal. Thank you so much for joining me this Saturday. And as always, I do have someone very special here on Celeb Select. I'd like to introduce Iryn Namubiru. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Krista.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. You're looking lovely.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. You're looking lovely too.
Thank you. So how's the weekend? How's your Saturday?
My Saturday is good. Mm-hmm. Very good and calm.
And calm.
Yes.
No gigs today, no concerts later.
I have gigs, but I have them later in the night.
Later on in the night. Okay. Well, we would like to know where you were born and where you went to school.
I was born in Mitiana Hospital, and I went to school at Newman Kindergarten in Machindie, then Molly and Paul, then Makonzi. But in Makonzi, I was there only one term. Then I went to Mitiana for one term. Then I went to Molly and Paul again. I was in Molly and Paul, left Molly and Paul, went somewhere else, came back. Then I went to Muslim Girls Primary School, Mitiana Secondary School, Bugema Adventist Secondary School, Mango Senior Secondary School for 1 month, Namasagali College, Namasagali College, and then it was in Zambia, Hotel and Tourism Institute in Zambia. Then I went to university in Grenoble, University of Grenoble, Stendhal, in Paris, and then I came back and went to Cavendish in Uganda.
Wow. That's a long list, my dear. You went here, you went there, you went here. Some people have like 4 places they went to.
Yeah. You know, I never went to very good schools. So, and there was the war, there was, there are schools I didn't like. But then I spent so long. I spent 2 years in Mitiana. I spent 2 years in Bugema, 1 month in Mango, and then
why just 1
2
month?
years in. Because I didn't like the school.
You didn't like
and I was a day scholar. I've always been in boarding schools. I wasn't getting used to it, so I went back to boarding school.
So you
but I
preferred
also
boarding
thought,
school?
Yes, I was used to boarding school. And then, because I was in boarding school since P1, and maybe only 2 years out, like a day scholar. And then, but it was okay. As I grew older, it became
so I can imagine that being
me.
in boarding school from such a young age, you learned how to be independent really
very
early.
much, yes, very early. And, you know, in those schools far away like Makonzi, no, I wouldn't recommend it for anyone. I'm not talking about the school, but I don't think sometimes it's not a very good idea to send kids to
when
boarding
they're really
schools
young,
when they're so young. Yes,
a lot of people say that. A lot of people
it's
say
not
that.
Good.
So, how many siblings do you have? Tell us a bit about your parents as well.
I have my father is the late Fred Mubiru. My mother is called Justin Nyanzi. But I have so many siblings.
Okay.
I only grew up with 4, but I have so many.
Okay.
Yeah, we might be about. My mom has 4 kids. 4 other kids. My father, I think 12.
Wow.
12.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a big family. That's a very
But
big family.
I'm the only child with my mom and
your
dad.
mom and your dad. Okay, alrighty. So you went to university, you finally came back and did Cavendish University here.
Yeah.
But I guess we want to know, when did the music bug bite? When did it grab you? Was it late or early?
Very early. As soon as I started speaking, because even before I started speaking, I was like, I used to nod to the songs and dance and try to mimic. But when I started speaking, I started singing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you
So
always know?
from like the age of 3.
So in school, were you always on stage singing
Always
as
on
well?
stage, yes. But I was very shy. On stage, I was very shy. I would hide behind people. In school choirs, I would hide behind people. I don't know why I was shy, but I was very, very shy.
Okay.
But back in the dormitory, I would always put them aside, my best friends, 1 or 2, and I had to sing them to sing to them by force, somehow by force. But recently, there's a friend of mine, because even in senior 6, I did it. There's a friend of mine who is in Boston. She's called Olivia, we used to call her O'Neill. She told me, in Luganda, Iryn watukoyanga no kuyimba. I was like, what? But now they all enjoy what I'm doing.
I know,
and
but
they're very big fans and
I think that
supporters.
happens a lot when you love to sing. When you love to sing, it's like you're my person.
Yes.
You must hear me sing.
Exactly.
And they're the people that help you actually gain the confidence eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to Namasagali College. Just recently, I had Benon Mugumbia here on the show, and he was talking about how for him, Namasagali College was such a turning point in his life in terms of finally realizing that he could pursue music as a passion for him. Was it the same for you?
I can't say Namasagali was really the school that groomed me, but I gained more confidence when I was in Namasagali. Yeah, Bugema. Bugema is where I really felt like I could sing, and I wanted to sing, and I wanted to be on stage, not to get money out of it, but because there were very beautiful singers. There was a girl called Jocelyn Walemba, another one, Iryn. I know that she was Iryn. I've forgotten her other name. And some few others. They were very good. I would admire these girls. I was like, I have to sing like them. I'll be like them. And Jocelyn was the head girl, but I would go sit at her doorstep and wait for her and tell her to teach me. Then she taught me whatever she could, and she couldn't teach me anything, anything more. But I would stay there. When we went to shower, I would never ever shower before her because I wanted to wait for her. Because whenever she was in the bathroom, in the shower, she would start singing.
Wow.
Then I would join in. And then maybe somebody else, but I always waited for that moment.
So you had mentors very early.
Yes.
Very early in life.
Whoever went to Bugema, I think, during my years knows Jocelyn.
Okay.
Yeah, she was very good.
Okay. So at Namasagali, is that when you met Juliana?
That's why I met her, yeah.
And then I guess after a while, okay, just take us from that point when you finished Cavendish. I mean, how did you start music professionally?
I started music professionally in, let me say, 1995, because that was my first concert. Was I paid? Yes, I think I was paid, and that was my first paycheck. But I had been singing and not getting any money out of those small concerts.
Yes.
And I didn't care about it so much. I didn't care about the money so much. All I wanted was to sing, to stand on stage. And then I started getting money out of music, not exactly singing on stages, but doing jingles. Yes, I did so many for Nile Special. But I was getting only 50,000 per jingle.
But I think back then that was okay money.
I don't know, I don't do them, but even then it was good. It was good money. Only that whoever was contracting me decided to give me so little, but if he's listening, he will know himself, because I looked at the invoices. In fact, each voice, each language was 450,000 shillings.
And you only got 50,000.
I only got 5, and I had done like 5. Can you imagine how much money I would have gotten?
5?
Yes, I would do 5, maybe in 5 languages.
Wow.
And I would even write the script sometimes.
Wow. Well, I guess, early in life, sometimes
but I needed
that
the 50K. Even if I had seen the invoice, I was like, no, I need the 50,000. And if I had refused, there was my friend, Angela Katatumba. She was working for a little less. And this person was telling me, this Angela, she can take it. I was like, okay, no, I'll do it. And then there was also Juliana. And he was telling me, Juliana will do it. Then I would go for my 50. But it helped me a lot.
Yes.
Because it paid my school fees.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you for your first request right now, a Freddie McGregor song.
Yes. Yes, Just Don't Want to Be Lonely.
What is it about the song that you love?
I love it because, I used to love it even before I fell pregnant. But when I was pregnant with my first child, every time this song played, I overplayed it. But every time it played, my baby would kick and kick and kick. If he had slept so long and I thought he wasn't moving or there was a problem, I just played the song and he would kick. And I told all my friends, the father, you see, come, wait, I'm going to play the song. Whenever I played the song, it would turn. But what's surprising is that even recently, like 3 months ago, I asked him, I told him the story about I Just Don't Want to Be Lonely. He told me, you know what? Whenever you play it, I feel like it rings a bell.
Oh.
There's something special about this song. And it's not his style at all. But he told me there's something about that song.
So
It
there's
feels
a
like I
hidden
know it.
memory, like from way back.
Maybe.
I Just Don't Want to Be Lonely. Freddie McGregor.
Yes.
I don't mind when you say that you're going away. Just don't wanna be lonely.
You mentioned that you actually did a lot of jingles.
Yes.
And you said that they really helped you.
So much, yes.
In what way exactly?
I paid my school fees. A high school plus the concerts.
All the way from
Then-
high school?
From high school. And at this tourism and hotel institute that I went to for 2 years. Okay, I would get money from concerts. Not so much, but it was, in the beginning, it was mainly the jingles and my first job at my uncle's, who is Salon or Viva in Deva.
What were you doing in your first job?
He has a hardware.
A hardware shop.
A hardware shop in Deva. So that's what I was doing, serving customers, selling. And at one point I was the cashier, but I was doing anything that was there to be done that I could do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were working from a young age. You were working
Yes.
from a young
Very
age.
young. After my senior 4,
You
I started working. Yes.
Okay. So you started doing a small gigs. You started getting your small gigs. You got paid a little bit of money. How did you decide to take, your music career to the next level? Because many people remember you for karaoke
Yes.
back in the day.
Yes. I didn't do it for so long though.
Okay.
Because then I got a boyfriend who was very clever, who was very sharp. Well, we were all young at the time, but of course he was very sharp. Because this is what he told me. He was like, Iryn, karaoke is not a competition. We go there to have fun. Now look, this guy you're singing for, you go, he doesn't pay you, you bring him customers.
You're entertaining everyone.
You entertain everybody. We were the stars really, Julian and I. We were the big stars there. And everybody was looking forward to hearing us, to seeing us on stage, but would never get a drink. Nothing, absolutely nothing, not even a drink.
Not even a
There were
drink?
times when they even wanted us to pay, and we were like, come on, not even a drink.
To pay entrance.
Yes. So Frank told me, Iryn, you're not going back there. And I didn't go back.
Okay.
I didn't do it for so long, but the time I did it, I left a mark.
Yes, you did.
But then I decided to take my career to another step, another level when I went to France. Because I met real musicians. I know there were opportunities there, but it wasn't very easy. So I started looking for castings and all. I eventually worked with somebody. We recorded an album. We started doing concerts. I got introduced to many other people, and I realized I could get money out of music. But maybe it's easy in Uganda.
It's easier.
It's easier, I think. You can meet so many people. You can work with professional people, but you can also die trying to be somebody in music when you're abroad.
Yes.
Because there are just so many people. There's so many things you have to do. It's not always easy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. How long were you in France at that point in time?
I
Because you were
left.
gone for quite some time.
Yes, I left end of 2000, and I didn't come back, I think, until 2005.
Okay.
And when I was there, I recorded an album in 2004 and all, but then things started changing back here. I could hear so-and-so is big now, people are recording songs, people are getting money. And my friends were telling me, Iryn, you're in France. What are you doing there? Do you know people are making concerts, people are making names, people are getting money. I started getting frustrated because, of course, yes, I was singing, but I was just a backup vocalist and I would get 100 euros a gig. That wasn't enough, but I still didn't know how much people were getting here. All I wanted was to be on stage all the time. In France, you can't sing. You can't go anywhere in a bar or in a concert hall or wherever you find people and jump on stage. No, because the inspectors, when they find you on stage, and you're not paid, It's like you're working, you're getting money under the table. You haven't declared your work, so you can't jump on stage. So I was getting frustrated. I started coming back here, doing my trips back and forth, recording and going back. Actually, all that time, 2005 to 2007, maybe, I didn't make any money, even out of my mega hit, because I'll be here 2 weeks, and then the husband would tell me, no, you have to come back because I'm working, you have to give the kids. Or if I was paid, he would tell me, take back the money because you have to be here. So
What? I'm sorry, what?
Because
You would have to actually return money sometimes?
yes, because maybe he had to go somewhere on a trip, of course, work, but within France. So I would be asked to leave Uganda, take back the money I was paid for a concert, go back to France, keep the kids because he was going to work somewhere maybe 100 kilometers from home. Maybe he's going to spend 2 days there. So there are things that frustrated me because mine wasn't considered a career.
Priority.
Yeah.
That was difficult. I mean, I can imagine being in entertainment, a musician, and being a mom. I mean, juggling is not easy. You really need to have a partner who understands. But,
don't be deceived. Even those who understand may refuse to understand, because for me, my husband is a musician. But, I could not spend so long in a studio, for example, without him calling. In Uganda, it's okay. We are used. But in France, you're recording or you're working with people, and then your husband starts calling. When is she coming back? I know you people, you're keeping my woman so long. How is she going to come back home? You are fired. Your contract is cancelled. So up to the age of 25, it's still very good. You have chances. And if you're not married, or if you don't have a difficult companion, it's still okay. But the moment you're over 25, married or with a boyfriend that's really like, this is my wife, I have to be with you everywhere.
that's tricky.
It's not easy, yes.
That's very, very tricky. So another thing that, so many of us remember, I remember seeing you perform for the first time,
Yes.
IJ,
Yes.
you and Juliana.
Yes.
How did you two come together for that?
That's something we had in school. No, we didn't sing together in school. But there was production in school. Each one of us would sing. But it's because of this karaoke here, because there were duets. I didn't see anybody else, or we could not sing. We didn't see anybody else to do songs with. We would team up just to do the duets. Karaoke time. But that was all. It's not like we were a group just because we sang together on stage there. A song, I know it, and it's karaoke, we want to do it.
So that's okay. Because a lot of people feel that you were a group, proper group, like
No,
a duo
no,
together.
No. But at the end, after some time, we decided to do these songs. We did the album, but it was a demo. But we had to name it, and we had to launch it so people know we could do something, because all they had heard before was what we were doing in karaoke and singing only English songs. We knew we could write, so we wrote our songs. We wrote Vive la Vie, we wrote Mirimos. We had like 6 songs. That's how we showed them how different we were from what they used to see at Sabrina's.
Okay, all right. So it was just a step on a step in your journey, on your way. Now, you mentioned having your children. Maybe you can just tell us a bit about that. How old is your oldest now?
He's 13. Yes, I had him in 2003. And the second one is 8.
Okay, they're big boys.
Big boys.
I see on your social media, on your Instagram, you post a lot of pictures of them. And I have a feeling one of them is also your photographer.
and surprisingly, it's the youngest. Because all those pictures that I take while there, it's him. And he tells me, no, this one doesn't look good. Now here you have to do this. Oh, you have to put your lipstick. No, you didn't comb your hair. It's that's Al. He's called Al.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the older one, what's his name?
Echo Delele, actually, it's an Iteso name. We named him after a friend of ours called Echo, who was in the Big 5 band. He died, it was in December, and we knew around January that he had passed away, and I was pregnant. So we're like, okay, Echo was a musician and a very good friend. Maybe Echo will be somebody to Our son will be somebody. Let's name him after this friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay, well, I'm
And
going
the
to ask
second-
you for your next song right now, Deborah Cox. Who do
Yes.
you love?
Who do you love?
What is it?
Why?
Used to sing this song?
Yes, because I used to sing it so much during that time, during 1997. Yeah. Everybody remembers. When you remember me, the times of karaoke, you remember me. When you hear that song, you remember Iryn and 97, 96
Okay.
karaoke times.
Here it is, Deborah Cox. Who do you love?
I slept alone. I stayed at home for the first time since you've been gone, babe. No.
With me today on Celeb Select, I have Iryn Namubiru. She's just been sharing so much. I wish you could hear everything. Now, one of the things you were saying when we're off air is that, you
Yeah.
know, back in the day, you struggled so hard to get to
Yes.
where you are. Sometimes you would even spend nights in the studio because you had no transport to go
Yes.
home.
And it was only 150 shillings or 200 shillings. Yeah, so that was a long time ago. But would sleep there.
Now, you said that, you know, it was really difficult when you were in France and you were trying to pursue your music there. So you decided eventually to come back home.
To come back home, yes.
How did
Not
you come to
permanently.
that decision, though, to come and start pursuing here, pushing here?
It was very hard. It was very hard. You know, I'm here, but I'm not permanently here.
Yes, you was back and forth.
Yes, because I cannot do it. My children, I cannot. But maybe the best or the worst decision I made was to divorce.
You were pursuing your music full time when you were here. Is there something else that you were doing when you were back in France?
In France, I do absolutely nothing now. I abandoned working in France completely.
You mentioned earlier on that you're very proud of yourself and what you've been able to do in the last few years.
Yes, since I divorced, well, let me say since 2010 on my own, I've done a lot, and I think I have a lot to show my kids to justify for my absences, because they don't know somehow, because the way they're talking to me, they're like, now, Maman, they speak French, Maman. Yeah, your concerts really, really, really. Do you privilege your concerts more than your kids? It's like, excuse me, my concerts are my job. I don't go to have fun. When I travel, I don't travel to have fun. I travel to work, and I'm working for us. And you'll be happy about what I've achieved in Uganda. Maybe you're not coming to Uganda soon, but you'll see we have a house in Uganda now. We have this. You'll travel well. You'll sleep well. We won't have to go to relatives every time we go to Uganda.
Okay, so let's get to your next request right now. Whitney Houston, the powerhouse that was.
Yes.
This song.
She is one of my biggest influences. And that song, I Have Nothing, I used to practice it at home. Then I would go sing it for people. But I would sing it alone, on my own, for myself, just to test my vocal ability.
Because it is a very difficult song to sing.
Very difficult song, but I can nail it.
I have nothing
Yes.
to understand how talented this woman is. Listen to this, Whitney Houston. Thank you for sharing your side of the story. A lot of people, you know, unfortunately
I
read
wish
the
we had more
tabloids and
time.
read the papers and hear
Yeah.
one side and
Yeah,
make up
yeah,
their minds. So you went through a very difficult time.
I wouldn't say very difficult, but there were some challenges.
No, some challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. And so right now, are you on speaking terms? Are you okay at this
Yes.
point in time
Yes.
with your ex-husband?
Of course, yes.
Okay. You were saying earlier on that one of the things you've done over time is you just do not read stories about yourself.
I don't.
You don't go to YouTube to see what comments are there. I mean, how long have you been doing that?
For a long time, because you know, you cannot really understand people You have friends, you have family, you come explain things you think they understand. They talk with you like they understand. Then behind your back, now these I'm talking about the closest people. The closest people. I wouldn't care so much about people I don't know. I don't go on YouTube. I don't read those comments. And every time, we can't control what's printed in papers. They choose out a picture they want to use because it sells. If they put a decent one or in long dresses, it's not going to sell in, say, red pepper or bukedu, kamanye, onion and all those things. So they have to keep on bringing these things and bringing them and bringing them on and on and on.
Now, you mentioned you've had a lot of challenges. And was there ever really a point where you wanted to give up? Because there was what people called the suicide scare at some point.
No, never.
Now,
never. They have been difficult times, but I never ever thought of quitting. The only time I thought of giving up, not really giving up like forever. There are times when I think when I'm doing something like, yes, you go record songs, then you don't have concerts. You record your songs, you do the videos, you do promotions. On one song, you can spend 10 million. Some spend less, some spend more. And maybe you do another song, but you haven't done any concerts. People are out there selling your songs. They're selling your videos. Meanwhile, you don't have shows. You cannot release your song if you're not going to promote it, if you don't have a certain budget on the side. So sometimes I feel like I'm done, I'm tired. Let me go back to France and sit there. Knowing that I'll go back and sing, because that shouldn't stop me from singing. But investing money in music, in new projects, and finding other people getting money out of it,
it's painful.
It's painful.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Well, success, it never comes easy. It never really comes easy. Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. We're out of time, but I know that you are planning something special, something big just before Christmas.
Just before Christmas, I have a concert. This year will be in Serena, and I want all those people to come. Whoever can afford the 100,000 or the 3 million a table or 1 million a table should come and see me, because we're going to have a very good sound. Sound is very manageable in Serena. That's why I'm dying to sing there.
So an early Christmas present, pretty
Yes,
much. A Christmas
yes,
present from you.
yes,
So
yes.
on this journey, to wrap up, what have you learned? What are some of the lessons you've learned? And what's some of the advice that you can give to many other young musicians out there, young people trying to also find their way?
Yeah, they should never give up. They should not sit on their talent. And nobody should tell you, you cannot. You cannot. You can. Yes, you can. You have to believe in yourself. Yeah, and don't be scared, because we're all different. People start telling you there are other people coming up. What are you going to do? Are you scared? Do you listen to other people's music? Yes, of course, we do listen to everybody's music. But you should not be scared. You're not competing with anybody. Work on making yourself better, a better artist. But don't, because, I've had so many artists, whenever they come, they're like, I have a hit. I'm better than so and so, and now these ones hate me. Somehow they start getting haters. I'm like, excuse me? why would they hate you? Now, believe in yourself and focus on yourself and what you're doing.
Okay.
Yes.
So just tell us about your last request today.
My last request
Yay.
is my own song, a song by Iryn Namubiru. It's very special to me because I felt all those words I sang. They were from me. It was written by Suva Chagulanyi, but with my words. I told him exactly what I wanted to sing about, exactly what I felt, and he did exactly that. That song, I don't know, I think I recorded it for 4 weeks. We would record beats by beats, but I would love the first 2 lines, 3 lines, I'd go them, sing, fall in love with them until we finished the song. It's called Nkwagala Nnyo.
Well, thank you again for coming through. It's been such a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much, Crystal, for hosting me.
Here it is in Nkwagala Nnyo.